once again, the entertainment industry strikes. YouTube came out and it blew up. It's become a worldwide sensation, and people all over the world has taken to YouTube who normally wouldn't have a voice. Had a voice, because on YouTube you could be the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. You could be anybody you want to be. You could create a character and be that person on YouTube, and you can monetize it and actually make money. And this was something that the corporate structure really couldn't regulate or control. And you had people that started to blow up on YouTube even bigger than the superstars or the people that the corporations have contracted in. But early on, years ago, these celebrities and sports personalities used to make fun of us YouTubers and have special names for us and whatnot. They called YouTube. We were people that didn't know what we were talking about. We were the swamp. We were all these different things. But fast forward 5-6 years later, now the corporations have given them their marching orders and have sent these entertainers and athletes to YouTube to take control of the narrative. They studied the algorithm. They studied what makes money. They study how could these nobodies become multimillionaires. I mean, if you had people making $1 million a month, if you had people making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a month off of YouTube. So now the likes of Stephen A. Smith and Deon Cole can sit down and have a conversation about what's going on in these YouTube spaces now with these entertainers and athletes. Because now what they have done is they're now emulating what we were doing in Black YouTube to replace us. And Deon Cole is going to break down what's to come on YouTube from these entertainers, of people that was contracted in. I've been warning y'all. But this is the corporate structure's way of getting rid of us. Check this out.
I'm thinking along these lines. It can get crazy if it's true. My question is, my fear is, what if it gets crazy if it's lies, devoid of ramifications, where you could say shit and you don't have anything to worry about in terms of retribution? They could threaten to sue you or whatever. That's just giving more life to the story, or more life to an interview, or more life to the innuendos or facts or whatever it is that folks throw out there. I'm worried about that. You're not?
Yeah, I'm worried about it, but it's been going on like that for years with politicians. They've been doing that forever. So what's happening now, people are picking up on this. And they're going, okay, cool. Lies are being spread constantly. As long as somebody talking about you, that's all anybody care about. You can come back later on and go, I was just kidding about this, or I was just kidding about that.
Right.
But at the moment, when you're doing that interview, that's what I'm telling you. It is about to get spooky out here. Because everybody about to start saying whatever the fuck is on their mind, and they're going to do it. And there's so many podcasts and there's so many avenues for them to do it. You're just going to hear stuff. And it's going to have to go on for so long until it get played out. And then when it get played out, then everybody going to be off of that and everybody going to believe it. But right now, at the heat of this, man, we'll see who next. I saw my man DL say something on his page about what Monique was saying about him. You know, I was with Sid, hearing about Sid, but everybody been kind of trying to figure out how to even play this, how to even come back.
How to comment on it, whether or not you want to give it life, you want to avoid the subject, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm thinking, do you feel that way because of the subject matter or the person who was talking about you? Because I'm telling you right now, I don't think anybody should want to make an enemy of Cat Williams. That's just not somebody that you want. You don't want to be on Cat Williams' radar. I mean, listen, Monique, to a lesser degree, I mean, she's a strong sister, definitely defiant and strong in her beliefs. But Cat's on another level because he's a comedic genius, and that brother is relentless with it. Oh, and you almost get the impression that the entire comedic community is like, damn, we don't like this, but we excuse my language, we don't want to fuck with him.
Right, but
is that the thinking?
But no, but here's the weird shit. A lot of them about to come at him because they want him to say their name.
So they gonna come after Cat Williams?
Yeah, there's more people gonna come.
Because they think. So you telling me
they think
if they talk about him, he may clap back at them, and that gives them some pause.
Yes.
So he's about to be a target.
Dude, it's about to be a goddamn target. Absolutely. They saw what he did to everybody else. He made a lot of people relevant who wasn't relevant at the time. He can make motherfuckers relevant. That shit Mike Epps said about, man, it was some truth in that. Right. Regardless of what Mike was joking about.
Do you think that's why Cat Williams said all the things that he said to Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay? Because, listen, to me, again, he's a comedic genius. I love watching him. I love seeing him perform. I can't imagine him not selling out someplace. But in the same breath, you had some people out there saying he did this for publicity. I didn't get that impression looking at Cat Williams at all. But did you?
Cat is going to do him. Cat been selling out shows and doing everything or whatever. But people have been saying, I'm not saying this me, but people were saying that the last run, that the tour that he was about to do, that he was hosting and he was going to play around and do stuff like that. And they said the tickets was great. It was doing great. But I heard that they was like, But then when he did that shit went 100% across the board, every goddamn city, whatever, after he did that. You know what I mean? Right. And he brought people's names up who wasn't talked about at the same token.
Do you think the Steve Harveys, I remember seeing Kevin Hart clap back on him on the Breakfast Club, but it was in defense of Tiffany Haddish, not himself. Do you think it's the right decision for Kevin Hart, for Cedric the Entertainer, the Ricky Smileys of the world, the Steve Harveys of the world? Do you think it's the wisest decision for them not to clap back?
I mean, it all depends on their situation. I think if a lot of them got endorsements and shit like that, I'd shut the fuck up, just chill, just let it ride off. If you feel like you want to be relevant and say something back, then say something back or whatever. Right. But I feel as though that the truth or not truth that Cat is saying or whatever really has nothing to. It really had nothing to do with them. Cat went on that show, I think, knowing I'm about to talk about. And he's been talking about this for years. Okay. Let's not say he just started talking about this.
That's fair.
He's been saying about that shit about people stealing jokes and all that shit. He's been saying that shit for years. Just like Monique. This ain't new what she was saying. She been saying this shit for years.
About Tyler Perry and Oprah for years.
It's just the fact that right now, this shit is making sense in a mind way and in a dollar way. Is making sense. And so now it's lining up, because when she said it before, wasn't really nothing going on. They ain't even listening to her when she was talking about she wasn't getting paid like that. But when Taraji said it, everybody was like, hey, because it was the timing of that.
Right.
So now it's the timing for this. It's time for people to go on there and tell the truth, lie, whatever, in order to get their sense
When
up.
speaking to people in the comedic community and beyond, reacting to Monique's latest interview with Shannon Sharpe, Cat Williams' interview weeks ago with Shannon Sharpe, which, by the way, has now exceeded 68 million views.
Jesus
and Shannon
Christ.
Sharpe's aired the interview with Monique yesterday. And it's already over 5 million as well. So that's going to climb, and that's going to break the internet as well. There are people who have looked at those two interviews, and they're talking about two individuals they believe is trying to ruin the careers of other people. Is that how it should be perceived, or should it be perceived as these folks are just passionate, they've taken a lot, and they have to vent and let it all out because they don't want to hold it in anymore?
Now, as you can see, when you hear Stephen A. Snitch and Deon Cole talk, they're talking about the timing. Now, I want you guys to understand something. There's a couple major YouTubers that's been kicked off of YouTube. Especially in the black spaces for saying salacious things. But there's going to be a lot more YouTubers, black YouTubers in these spaces that are going to be demonetized or kicked off of YouTube to make space and room for these incoming celebrities and athletes and stuff that's coming in to take over. And look at what's blowing them up. They're being blown up by dealing with either bringing in the rappers, that's the murderous rappers, or dealing in the underbelly of our culture. But this corporations is doing this on purpose. They want people contracted in that they can control. And this is the stuff. So now you're being entertained because you love entertainers. And a lot of you guys out there live your life vicariously through these people. So when you see their faces, you go running, not realizing that these people ain't for you. These people work for the dominant society. They don't serve the people. So those of us on the black grassroots that's been serving the people, they on their way of getting us up out of here, man. But don't say I didn't warn you guys. Right now you're being entertained, but at some point, YouTube is going to be occupied mostly by athletes and entertainers. That's all. It's just all being strategically done. And Deon basically alluded to that because they're coming in basically doing the same thing that we've been doing. And they know where the public's going to give most of their attention to. Even though you complain about the dominant society, you still are enamored by the contractors, the highly paid contractors, the stars. You're enamored when you see them. And the corporations know this. So they can easily put them in front of us. But leave your comments in the comment sections. Let me know what you guys think about what Deon Cole and Stephen A. Snitch had to say. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.